Hey, my friends, Joey Ragona here. How are you? Hopefully you're having a great day. I wanted to share a simple strategy with you. I call it a strategy, but it's a simple thing that you should know to attract your ideal client, your ideal customers, okay? I had a conversation with a potential client the other day, and this came up. This is one of the things that I do with all of my clients and or people that I'm having a free blueprinting session with. Doesn't really matter. I always go to this one strategy and I want to share it with you. But I'm going to try and do this by giving an example, not like the full example, the detailed example of this person, because I don't want to violate the confidentiality of what she told me. So what I find is when I'm dealing with entrepreneurs or service people who have different levels of stuff that they do, different services, different products, their dialed in message to get the ideal client is not absolutely 100% perfect because they have different options for people. If I ask somebody, can you tell me a little bit about your client? What is their problem? And then I'll get the, well, it depends answer. And as soon as I get the it depends answer, it's a red flag for me. This is what happened a couple of days ago. And I said, fine, then can you tell me a little bit more about what that means? And because she's an expert in her field, she went on to tell me about, there's 3 different processes that she does. She deals with people who are going through a certain thing in their lives. Again, I don't want to reveal details here because it might violate my confidentiality with the client. But she told me that they're going through a certain thing in their life and she helps them wherever they are in the stage. So there's 3 different stages that she is an expert in, and it depends on where that person is coming into her life. So I totally get that. Now, the problem is, though, that as soon as I heard that, I said to her, do you realize that there are actually 3 different avatars, if you want to call it that, 3 different marketing messages in order to attract that person, depending on where they are in their lives? And she really didn't get that yet. And I said it another way. I said, okay, well, if you wanted to speak to someone, what would you have to say for a person to come into this product A or this service, product A? And she told me, and then I said, okay, well, does that person understand product B or service B or phase B? And she said, no, because they're in this frame of mind. It started to click for her. And I said, okay, now are you getting it? Because there's 3 different messages. And this is the problem that I see with a lot of people, where their message is not dialed into the, and I'm going to be careful when I say this. When I say mass market, I don't mean everybody. I'm talking about your avatar, the people that you can help. But within that mass market, there are multiple levels or multiple divisions of that avatar. But you still have to attract that avatar to get into your life so you could teach them about the other levels. And let me explain this a little bit further. So I asked her, I said to her, imagine that you put 1,000 people of your avatar in a room, okay? And you went into that room. What is the one thing that you could say to them? And the whole idea was for you to say only one sentence and move those people from that room to another room to listen to you speak or to pitch your idea or whatever it is, okay? So you only had one chance and you had one sentence, like 10 seconds to say something. What would that be? I want you to think about the same thing. If I was coaching you right now and you were telling me that you had all these different services or a couple of different services in it, and it depended on where someone was in their journey, that you can't say one thing. Well, I'm challenging you that you can say one thing. I'll give you an example from my coaching, let's say. So if I said to somebody, what is it that you want? Most of the times they're going to say freedom, okay? But what they really want is they want more sales. They want more sales because they want to get the freedom. And then when I say, well, why don't you have any sales? They don't really necessarily know that it's their marketing message is all messed up. They just know that they're not getting the freedom because they don't have more sales. And so when I keep asking them questions and backing it up, we eventually end up with, well, I'm doing advertising, or I'm saying stuff on social media, or I put an email out and nobody's clicking it, or whatever, which then I translate into, are you having trouble with your marketing message? Is it that people aren't listening to you, or you're not saying the right things? And they're like, yeah, that's it. But if I came in and said, do you have trouble with your marketing message? Some people would get that, others don't. if I said to you, well, do you want to make more sales so you can have more freedom and, get more life and more lifestyle, all that kind of stuff, you would probably identify with that a lot more. Okay, so that's what I was trying to say to her, is like, what is the one thing that you could say to that 1,000 people in that room that they would immediately look at you and say, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going through, or my problem is, or what I want. I'm going to follow you into that next room so I can hear what you have to say. Now you've piqued the interest of your audience. So I'm challenging you. I'm saying to you, what is the one thing that all of your audience, no matter if they're at different stages of the process of what you can help them with, what is the one thing that you can say to every single person, or sorry, to all those people, that they will identify with? Doesn't matter what stage that they are in the process of what you can help them with. Does that make sense? Hopefully this helped you out. Ciao.